Plant's going to be phoning in here momentarily. It is another lovely gardening day here in this wonderful province we live in. British Columbia is a fabulous place to live. We're very lucky, blessed in a lot of ways. And weather's been off and on for the past couple days. We've had a bit of snow. We've had a little bit of wind. We've had a little bit of rain. We've had a little bit of everything. Some sun the other day. It's just off and on. You never quite know what you're going to end up with. It's like a box of chocolates, you could say. But yeah, it's one of these things that you just got to take what you take what you get. And it is spring though. Spring, I'm going to say, is officially here. You know, we're at about the middle of March now, and the middle of March is good time to go ahead and start planting things and get some things out in the garden. And, now we can get all our cold-loving plants out, and that's where we're going to go to our tips and plants of the week here shortly. But, Don, are you there?
I am here, Ken. Alive. I'm alive.
Fabulous.
I don't like coming into the station when I got a little bit of a cold here. Not too bad, but it is a cold.
Yep.
And very seldom am I getting colds now. But, what the heck? Once in a while, especially when you got a little 18-month-old grandchild around. And, they're full of germs,
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
So it's time for the tips and plants.
You betcha.
Okay, my tip of the week is this. It's time to get out the dormant sprays for your roses and grapes. The grapes, you can wait a little longer. I like to wait till the buds are fuzzy, but you can do it double. You can do it now and then do it again. Dormant oil lime sulfur, best time is when the new growth just begins and when it's about an inch or two long. And that's what's happening with my roses right now. They're all pushing. So, and my plant of the week is the mossy saxifrage. I sent you pictures of that.
Yeah.
Saxifraga bryoides. Bryoides is the species, and it's really a cool little plant.
Yeah, it's fabulous. What a beauty. All right, I also have a tip and a plant this week. My tip of the week is that next Saturday and Sunday, we're having pruning seminars that are happening at Byland's Garden Centers, both on the Saturday in Kelowna at the KLO site and on Sunday at the west side Byland's, and it's going to be great. I just always look forward to the pruning seminars. So you can sign up at bylandsgardencenter.com. Or you can just phone in and talk to them there, and they'll get you signed up. All right, my plant of the week this week is the pansies, and I've got mine in. Do you have yours in? Pansies love the cold weather and the cool temperatures, and they just do beautifully, and they're colorful and just a lovely thing. It's a sign of spring, and let's get those pansies in. All right, that's my tips and plants for this week. Remember to check Grower Coach on YouTube and growercoach.com.
He can a little bit of snow last night, overnight. It's not going to stick around, but it's just a skiff, really.
Yep.
Here in the city, in Kelowna. Did you get some out in Lake Country?
Yeah, we got. I think we got about 2 inches, but by this morning it's mostly had gone. I had to scrape the window this morning, but it was just 0 degrees. Right at freezing point. It's not really anything to be afraid of. The roads were fabulous. Everything's great.
Well, it's not going to stick around, but I'm telling you, it's important right now that we think water. We've got to think about our water situation because the hills are really dry. The fire hazards are there. Just be cognizant of all that situation. Do your part because it's very, very important. In recognition, it's actually World Water Day coming up. In recognition of World Water Day, the Okanagan Basin Water Board and the Department of Earth and Environmental Services at UBC Okanagan are inviting the community to a free screening of the award-winning documentary All Too Clear. This is on Sunday. This Sunday, March 22nd. And the 90-minute film will be followed by a 60-minute expert panel, an audience of question and answers with complimentary refreshments. Admission is free. However, advanced registration is required at alltooclear.eventbrite.ca. It's an Eventbrite event, and it's alltooclear.eventbrite.ca. The film all too clear, examines, this is it, Kent, it examines how quadrillions of invasive quagga mussels are transforming the Great Lakes at a scale not seen since the glaciers, raising urgent questions about what similar invasion would mean for the Okanagan's drinking water, fisheries, real estate values, tourism, recreation economy, and cultural value. So very, very important. If you want to see what's going on with that darn mussel, use your muscles and get down to this event. And you can look it up on just World Water Day, Okanagan Basin Water Board, and that'll all come up on your computer, and you can go and see that. But you do have to register.
Yep.
Register. Yeah. So that's important.
Yeah, it's critical, I would say. Like, we have to pay attention to these things. Moving boats from city to city, valley to valley, really important to, you have to have them inspected. I believe that there's no option on that. But, there are sometimes maybe people traveling in the middle of the night. I don't know, but they have inspection stations. And please participate in the inspection stations because that's where they're experts at finding these guys. And unfortunately, it's any kind of water. Like if there's water trapped in your boat and you go to a new lake and then that water somehow gets out of the bilge or whatever gets into the lake, then, you're going to be spreading potentially the little eggs. And that's all it takes.
It only takes two mussels.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you say, the eggs are transported as well in that bilge water.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to be cognizant of it, and we have to do our part. And it's like we're conserving water, and we're also at the same time preventing the spread of these severely invasive animals. And in this case, they are. They do. You wouldn't be able to walk on the beaches. They're sharp, and all the beaches would become full of these little crustaceans that are sharp, and you'd have to wear shoes, and then you wouldn't be swimming, and then the water would become polluted, and then it just goes on and on.
They clog up all the infrastructure too, the water mains and all that. It's just awful stuff. Ken, last week I was talking about when you were at your commitment there.
Summerland,
out in Summerland, right. I was talking about bleaching or blanching celery. And I'm just wondering, you're a celery guy. Have you ever blanched some celery?
No, I've always tried to keep it as green as possible because the blanching aspect is by you bury it up around the sides, right? And you can mulch around it.
Just cover it with cardboard blocks or something like that.
Block the light.
And block the light off, and so the chlorophyll gets knocked off. Now, it is. I looked it up, and because the first thing I thought of, you're just taking the nutrients out of your celery by doing that. But on the other hand, when I look it up, there is a slight drop in some nutrients because of the fact that there's no chlorophyll. However, they say that there's a lot of nutrients still in them. It's just what it does is it changes the flavor. It takes a little bit of the harshness away. But then, hey, I like the harshness. I like the taste of celery.
Yeah, and remember that when you grow at home, you don't usually get that bitterness. You get strong flavor, but you don't get the bitterness. And when you do go and buy celery, most of it is green right to the bottom. So you have to actually hunt around now to find the ones that are white at the base, but it's it's all good. Anyway, any which way you get it, it's great, and it's fun to grow celery. It just takes a while, and you're harvesting around the end of August, at least here in our climate, and even sometimes later towards into September. But it's a cool plant to grow, and it's so much more tasty when you grow it in your own backyard.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lovely thing, and I don't know if you tried Donna's celery soup recipe.
We did actually. Yeah,
it's
really good.
Quite good. Yeah, it's quite good. And maybe a few little chunks of potato and that in there. Boy, okay, you're going to make me hungry.
Oh yeah. Any soup with celery in it is awesome, I find.
Yeah.
Especially like chicken soup or turkey stew or any of that stuff. You got to have celery. Like.
You bet.
It's not soup.
What's blooming in your yard right now, Ken?
Well, I mentioned the pansies, and of
Yeah.
course they were blooming when we planted them, and they're just happy as can be outside. They've been outside now for almost, well, let's say a week and a half or so, and they're okay. Weather's good, sun's good, no sunburn, no nothing. They're just looking fabulous, and it's nice to get that color. So we've got primula and pansies in our planters, and they're just doing fine. Got some crocuses popping up here and there, and a few daffodils starting to push up pretty nicely, almost showing buds.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, the bloom stems coming up, and they're just not quite, but that's all right. We have lots of time. And temperatures, I don't think we're going to get anything too extreme at this point, but you never know, right? Anything could happen, but we want to keep our fingers crossed. I also, as I mentioned, I think it was last week, about the apricots starting to bloom last week.
Yes.
I think tonight they're saying -5, -6 or something like that, but this will be the last little snippet or snap. I don't know. Who knows?
It's a little bit of a snap. But I tell you, there's a heat dome coming up from the States, which is troublesome because it's going to get very, very warm next week in Penticton, Kelowna, and Victoria. It's going to be getting quite warm, unseasonably warm. And, of course, this is causing the snowpack to diminish because it shouldn't be at this time of year. Snowpack should be solid up there. We don't see the snowpack. It's only 65% in the Okanagan water basin. It's only 65% of norm. So we've got to really, really watch ourselves this year as gardeners, as homeowners. We've got to watch ourselves and be very, very careful about what you use. Let your lawns get a little on the dry side, boys and girls, because that's really the big sucker in water, that and cedars. However, you and I talked about the fact that cedars, once they're really established, they don't take as much water as people might think. However, if they do get dry, I've seen, a property once in a while, and I guess we got to take a break here pretty quick here, but once in a while, when I look at properties that have been abandoned, it's really interesting to see what trees and shrubs do okay and what trees and shrubs fail very quickly, and then what trees and shrubs take a few years to die.
And the cedars survive, which is really bizarre. Cedars, spruces, and all the conifers seem to have that ability to survive. Yeah. But on that note, we are going to take a short break here, so we do invite your calls. Please give us a call if you have any gardening questions whatsoever, and we'll be back right after these messages with more of The Garden Show. Alrighty, we are back, and we have some callers coming in on the phone line. Thank you so much for calling in. And we have Maureen on the line. Good morning, Maureen.
Oh, good morning. I'm picking up one of those mini greenhouses that you can get, and they've got covered in plastic, and I've never had one before. My problem is I don't have enough windowsills for all the little plants I'm trying to grow from seed, and I'm also going to be potting up my dahlia. So my question is, how do I know when it's safe to put plants in there? What is a good temperature for inside one of those before I can put anything out there?
Yeah, if it's outside, so that's great because they do need to be outside to get the maximum light. And then, the thing is going to be monitoring the temperatures and the types of plants. If you have any plants that require warmth, they can't go out there. They could go out in the daytime, but at night it's going to get too cold. Yes. Tomatoes and plants that really, it's too early yet for those. But all the cold-loving plants, they could go out today. I mean, they love to be in that little cold frame, which is really what that is a cold frame.
Yeah, what size is it?
Oh, it's going to be, I'm picking it up today. It's 6 by 4, 6 feet tall by 4 feet deep.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
It's going to be a great little thing. I've never had one. And I'm going to be planting, I haven't put my sweet peas in or anything yet. And I bet I could put those right out on the soil now.
I would still start them ahead of time, just for speed and accuracy. Yeah, because, I put my sweet peas in. I always plant some direct in, and then some of them I pre-sprout them.
Okay.
I sprout them and grow them about 3 inches high and then plant them. And the ones that I pre-grow, like in a 6-pack, I just put one in each 6-pack. Those ones are they just don't look back. I put them out and they just grow. But the ones I put by seed, they sometimes don't germinate until around the end of May, which is kind of, it's all right. I mean, They still
It's a little
germinate.
late then. Yeah.
It's just,
Okay,
yeah.
so back to the cold frame. So I know sweet peas could go out there. Could dahlias go out there? But
No.
not yet, though. It's
No.
too soon, isn't it?
It's too cold at night, so the daytimes would be fine,
Yeah.
but the nights are too
Well, I'd
cold.
bring them in at night and put things, like I'd be going in and out still, I think, right?
Yep.
For anything. Yeah.
Yeah, they like the bright light, that's for sure. That's what they're looking for.
That's
But
what
they
I'm
also
looking
are
for.
warmth lovers, right? So
Yeah.
they don't
So
want to be
if
chilled.
so things like I've got cosmos, zinnias, and stuff starting in the house. Can I put those out as long as it's warm out during the day?
Yes, yeah. As
in,
long
in
as
the
it's
little
warm.
greenhouse? Yeah.
Yeah, because
10 degrees or 12 or...
Yeah, it should be warm. Like they're not cold lovers by any means, that's for sure.
No.
So keep them
Do
warm.
you have? I was just going to interrupt here for a second. This little greenhouse you have.
Yeah.
Is there where are you going to locate it in the yard? Is it going to be like on the south side of the house?
Yeah, it's going to be on the
Is there-
south side. Yeah.
Is there any possibility that there's a window that you can put it against so you could just crack the window and let some of the house heat go into it?
Maybe, yes. I am thinking of putting it right on my patio, right outside my door there.
Yeah.
Just for ease sake, right? I can bring things in and out of it. Yeah.
I mean, then you can have the best of both worlds. You can actually have a little heat in there at night.
Yeah.
I mean, you still aren't going to have 22 degrees or 15 degrees at night. But if you can just keep the frost out, a lot of stuff, like Ken said, a lot of stuff can be put out now. Geraniums, for instance, absolutely.
Yeah, I've got a whole counter full of geraniums that I'm trying.
Well, they can go in your greenhouse. Yeah.
Because they like the cold, don't they? Now that I say it.
They don't mind the cold at all, but they got to get used to it. But however, in a covering like that, I think you're fine. But I think you're going to have some fun with that.
I really am. And so the dahlias that I'm going to pot up today, I won't put those out. I won't ever leave them out at night until
No,
quite a while
I've been
now.
putting my potted dahlias, cannas, and callas into my workshop at night, and then they're on a trailer, so I just pull the trailer out in the daytime, have them outside in the daytime, and put them in at night.
Because as long as it's like 10 degrees, 11 degrees or so.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, that's fine for dahlias and callas and that sort of thing, sure.
Get them out of the way.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
That's really, really helpful. Thank you so much, guys.
Right, good luck with that.
Thank you. Okay,
Thanks for
bye-bye.
calling.
Thank you.
All righty, cool. There you go. Spring is officially started.
For sure. It is a pleasure to have a little functioning greenhouse like that. And there's so many levels of it. I'm actually going to do some consulting on in Gibson's. There's some folks there that are building a greenhouse, and they want to do it up right, and so you could sort of emulate what I've done with my little greenhouse. Have a controller, have a computerized controller, Wadsworth controller, have your cooling system, have your heating system, and all set up just like we used to do, Ken, when we were in business with the greenhouses. Just you can do a small greenhouse. I mean, I have not seen a real increase in our gas bill using the greenhouse. People say, "Oh, it's too expensive to heat all winter." It isn't actually.
Not with gas. No, that's for sure. Gas would be inexpensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Electricity is
that would be more
money.
expensive. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. Yeah. So, what are other things going on, Don?
Well, I've got my anemone blanda blooming in the garden.
Oh, there you go.
Anemonoides blanda, that's Latin. And I get a kick out of a lot of folks, even in the business, they say anemone and not anemone. And it's so easy to say. I've even heard our good buddy Brian Minter say anemone, but it's anemone. Dad used to say anemone. Think of anemone. Anyway. Blanda, it's blooming right now. I got these little blue anemones coming up, and of course, last week and the week before, I had the little winter aconites blooming. They're done now. Yeah, they've bloomed and they're done.
And then your iris, how's the Dutch iris doing?
The little Iris reticulata, it's doing very, very well. It's going to be finished soon though. It doesn't last a long time. That beautiful iris that we had that we've had for a few years. We got it from my friend Helen, and that was my plant of the week, I think, last week. And it was just an amazing plant, and it's really flushing out and expanding. It's growing. That's the Iris Catherine Hodgkin is the proper name for it, or the common name is orchid iris. Now, I've had some emails that I'm having trouble with my email system in my computer at home here, and I haven't been able to answer a couple. I know there's one or two people wanting pictures of this Catherine Hodgkin that I have, and the other people, I've got one waiting for my Apple spray schedule. The problem is, and if they're listening right now, the folks that were asking for it, my Apple spray schedule, I haven't been handing it out for a few years. So I look it up, and of course it's totally antiquated. It's got products on there that don't exist anymore, and so I have to revamp that. Homeowners schedule for codling moth and apple worm or whatever it is, that new one that's out there. There's not a lot of materials that the homeowner can get a hold of to work with, and so you almost have to rely on the spray companies. If you've had a codling moth issue, then if you don't have there's not many apples around in your neighborhood, which isn't always the case. But if you don't have a lot of apples kicking around the neighborhood, and you sacrifice your fruit this year, just take all the fruit off when it develops, and don't harvest anything, and get rid of that fruit, put it in the green bin or whatever. Chances are next year you're going to be clean because there's nothing for them to perpetuate. So.
Well, there you go. Well, we can. We're going to try to squeeze one call in here before the break. Let's see. It looks like we can take Eric. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. We got Eric on the line. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Ken, Don.
Morning.
Enjoying the snow?
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. Need more of it.
Like the calm before the storm, isn't it?
We'll see.
Yeah. Anyways, just wondering if you've seen the thing on the news about the flowers growing in the Death Valley area, California.
Oh, yeah. No, I hadn't seen that, but that.
Oh, yeah, they've never had that before.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they were saying that they had some rain in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
It must have stayed in the ground, and all of a sudden you look, all of a sudden you see flowers all over the place.
Yeah, the flowers will just sit dormant for years, sometimes waiting for the right conditions, eh?
Yeah, it's like I was shocked when they showed that on television. There, it's like what are they growing in there? It's Death Valley. It's like what grows there?
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, anything. Often there are even animals like amphibians, like frogs and whatnot that live in deserts, and they have to only take these tiny little windows of opportunity to get out and about.
Wow,
but they still survive.
Yeah, they made the news. So
yeah, that's cool.
Another thing, it'd be okay to start pruning fruit trees, eh?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a great time. Yeah. You betcha.
Yeah.
But then you got to spray after that, then, right? Your dormant spray on top of that when it's all pruned out.
Yeah, go ahead, Don.
Yeah, well, Eric, you want to take in Ken's pruning seminars because he'll touch on fruit trees as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Next Saturday in Kelowna, KLO, and on Sunday at the West Side. Bylands Gardens.
You want to pre-register.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, just might do that.
Yeah, there you go. In dormant oil, yeah, go ahead. The temperature should be above 10 degrees Celsius ideally, and I would say probably any time now is to go ahead and do that. Lime sulfur dormant oil on pretty much most things, but just avoid the lime sulfur on apricots.
Apricots, that's true.
Yeah,
great.
There you go.
Sounds good. Good talking to you again.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Eric. Appreciate it.
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. On that note, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with Dan Bruce here shortly, and we'll be back right after these messages with more of The Garden Show. Yes, we are back. And so Don, what's your plans on your vegetable front this year?
Oh, I'm doing the normal. My favorite tomatoes. I've got garlic coming up. I don't have a big garden, Ken, not like you. My garden is quite compact, as they say. And I've got I do peppers. I do tomatoes. I do herbs, basil, and the other herbs, the cooler other herbs. Mm-hmm. And also my cucumber, favorite cucumber, of course, just trying. Isn't that crazy?
Carmen.
Carmen, yeah, Carmen. It's so funny how I miss that. I got other cucumber varieties, and that's the one that I always forget the name of, but it is my favorite. It's definitely. But you have to grow it by itself. You can't grow Carmen with other cucumbers, or else you get cross pollination going on, which is not. Then they don't turn out as well. But this is a good cucumber. Expensive to buy the seed, but I got about 25 seeds coming in. I think it was $45 for 25 seeds, something like that. But certainly worth the money, because it really is a producer. But Ken, I was talking just before we took the break. I was talking about this Death Valley thing. Eric brought that subject up, and so I looked it up, and it's experiencing a rare, once-in-a-decade wildflower superbloom in 2026, with vibrant displays of desert gold, Phacelia, sand verbena, and other species across the valley floor and foothills. Current bloom status, this year's bloom is the most impressive since 2016, triggered by a record rainfall in fall of 2025 and a wet winter, creating ideal conditions for desert wildflowers to flourish. Low elevation flowers are peaking now and are expected to persist through mid to late March, while higher elevations will see blooms from April through June. And the bloom includes bright yellow desert gold, purple calfa leaf Phacelia, Mojave poppy, sand verbena, brown-eyed primrose, and five-spot and desert star. These are some of the varieties and species you'll see blooming. And we talk about seed banks, Ken, and I'm wondering whether some of those wildflowers have come from the seed bank hidden in there, and just when the conditions are right, they germinate.
Yeah.
Or they might have roots coming through some of these plants. It's hard to say, but for them to show up once every 8 to 10 years in a winter like or a climate, or the weather that we're having the past couple of years in Death Valley, it's either the seed bank that has been hidden in there, or it was they're actually coming up from the root, which is interesting.
Yeah,
but that was interesting. Thanks for mentioning that, Eric. It brought some topic to the show.
Yeah, and you never know how deep they are, right? Some of them can be incredibly deep and have a bulb that sits down, or some sort of a root storage system. That could be a couple feet down, 2-3 feet, and there actually might be a tiny bit of moisture down there that they're able to access and stay out of the heat. And then whenever the conditions are right, they can just push up and take advantage of it. So sometimes even just a little tiny bit of moisture that does come, they might be able to really quickly respond, send up some leaves, and absorb some of that moisture right through their foliage. So anything's possible. Nature is amazing. It just wants to live. Sometimes you got to work really hard to kill your plants. Other times, they just seem to survive anything,
What have you lost this year, Ken?
Oh, tons of stuff.
I've lost a few. I've lost a few plants this year. I think my jacaranda's bit the dust. And it had a tough time last year but this year I think we'll see. I hate to say it, but we'll see.
It's part of gardening is to lose plants. That's normal. You'll lose some stuff from time to time, and it's just still fun. It's like, oh, well, that one died, so time to go get another one to replace it, and then get something different, or, try again, or do more research, or try something different. But, that's the way it goes.
Is, I've had those cycads, the cardboard palm and the sago palm, for 30 years. And
they suddenly just died.
They died. Yeah. I lost the cardboard, or I lost the sago palm last year, and this year, now my cardboard palm's gone. So there you go. Well, it makes room for more plants, and we're going to go and visit Comox Valley succulents in a couple of weeks or so, and that will be a pleasure to buy more plants. You just have to have more plants. You can't have enough plants.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. We also we have a caller back on the line here, Don. We have Sharon on the line. Good morning, Sharon.
Yeah, good morning. I have a question, a couple of questions, just short. To start plants from seed in the house, can I do it now anytime so they don't grow too tall or spindly before I can put them out in the garden?
Yeah, Don, do you want to take that?
Well, of course, it depends on your conditions, Sharon. If you have lots of light, and including some artificial light, yes, you can grow plants starting now, but not all plants should be started this early. Where are you located, Sharon?
On the west side in Lake.
Yeah, so you're in Kelowna area. So the thing is, there are some early things you can plant, and then some you want to wait till a little later. Some of your heat lovers you don't want to start quite yet. And as you say, one of the concerns with these short days and lack of light at this time of year, they stretch. The plants want to stretch and they become tall and spindly. So you need to get some artificial light in there if you're planting this early. So that all depends on what I can send you, if you want to email me, I can send you, once my email gets working again, I can send you my sheet, a couple of sheets on planting times to give you an idea of what should go in now and what should go in later.
Okay. All right. And second question, I haven't had a lot of problem with deer, but last year was kind of more than the normal. And they were eating the blossoms off the potato plants. Would that hurt for the potatoes to grow if they chew off the blossom?
No.
That shouldn't be a problem, Ken.
No, that should be good. Yeah, it's, in some ways, if it's when the potatoes bloom, when they're in flower, that's how you know sort of the size. That means your potato's about the size of a golf ball. Then, but if they eat the flowers off of it, then maybe instead of putting energy into producing flowers, they'll just grow a little bit fatter potatoes. So it's fine. Yeah.
All right. I was hoping that they weren't going to affect the growth of the potato, but okay. Well, as long as that doesn't hurt them at all, then I won't worry about them. They can eat the blossom.
Yeah, you betcha. No problem. Just leave the roses alone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Okay.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? The deer like to eat the flowers of a lot of plants, especially roses. They'll just go along and just munch off all the buds. But that's where Bobex, right now, Bobex is something, I know we don't sponsor that particular brand of deer repellent, but we do know it works really well. And, I've been going into places, and a lot of places haven't stocked it yet, which is a bit odd because this is prime Bobex season right now, especially those tulips pushing up. Any tulips are going to be deer food really quickly if you don't get some Bobex spritzed on them. So as soon as I see my tulips coming up, I give them a shot right away. But I'm having a hard time getting some, so I got to go out there and search it down and get some more Bobex because I just ran out, and get those tulips sprayed.
How does that compare to plant skid, Kim?
It's easier to deal with. It doesn't clog as much. There's a lot of reasons why I like it better. Plant skid is just straight. It's actually a blood product, and not too crazy about that one. But it's up to the individual.
There you go. And, both of them do smell, but I think plant skid smells more than the other one.
Yeah, they're both pretty rank, that's for sure. But that's the way it goes. And what I would say is pick the tulips that you're going to bring in first, then spray it with the Bobex, the ones outside. Yeah, because they do have a bit of a rank smell, that's for sure.
Yeah, I get you on that. I remember one customer that bought some plant skid from us years ago, and the bottle or the thing broke open in the house.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. It took a long time to get rid of that smell. Well, she had no deer coming around. But,
the deer weren't browsing through your refrigerator or anything. So that worked really well.
You bet.
Amazing.
You bet.
Yeah, cool. Well, we are coming up to the top of the hour here, so we're going to be taking a short break here in about 2 minutes. And, things going on, seminars and things coming up. Feel free, if people are aware of seminars, plant sales, that sort of thing, they can call into the garden show and tell us about those plant sales, because there's a whole bunch coming up here in April for sure. And the Oxa sale, I'm sure, is coming up very soon. And that's Okanagan Xeriscape Association. The Garden Club sales, the Lake Country Garden Club sale is coming up. And, tons of things going on. April the 11th, you might want to mark your calendar, is that in Lake Country, the Lake Country Garden Club and the Lake Country District of Lake Country are putting on a full day of gardening, and it's called For the Love of Gardening, and it's got speakers and events and all kinds of things for the whole day. April the 11th, put it on your calendar. Starts early in the morning, and it's going to be just a fabulous day of speakers. I'm going to be speaking there as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a great day, and write that down.
Perfect. Ken, when we come back, I've got my list of gardening misnomers. In other words, I'll give you one hint. People come in looking for begonia, and they ask for pagoda. And I've got all these others listed here. It's quite comical over the years. So I've documented all these plants over the years that people ask for.
All right. Well, there you go. We've got to go. Yep, you betcha. Thanks so much, Don. And we'll talk to you after this short break. We'll be back after these messages with more of The Garden Show. Well, the garden centers are getting hopping out there and starting to stock materials and getting all kinds of flowering things in. And remember, there's a lot of plants that like to grow cold. And so you can actually get out and get all kinds of things that are good to go. A lot of the annuals are not that great at cold temperatures. Some of them are. But we do have to watch that nighttime temperature. Like tonight, they're saying potentially -6. So that, maybe not at your house, Don, but, my house, it'll be -6. So I'm sure the majority of houses around will be at that sort of potential temperature. So that can cause damage to plants. So if you are putting them out, make sure you bring them in tonight.
There's a lot of hot air in my yard here.
Yeah.
But I've been putting my dahlias out in the daytime and my other cannas and callas and things like that, and then just they're on a trailer. I just put them in the workshop at night, take them out in the daytime. And there's going to be some nights coming up where I'm going to leave them out all night as well. But as I was saying before the break, Ken, just to have a little fun here, this is something that you and I have seen over the years where people come in and ask for plants like they're wanting to know if we have any pyrrhea. I said, not lately, but pyracantha is what they're looking for. And looking for an armadillo. Which they're looking for an amaryllis. Saliva, they're looking for salvia. Hemorrhoid grapes, and they're looking for hemorrhoid grapes, of course. Jupiters, and they're looking for juniper. And then I had one gal come in and ask for, do you have any running Jupiter? There's spreading juniper. Foliage is a big one. A lot of people talk about foliage and say foliage instead of foliage.
Foliage is aluminum,
Yeah. And then bulk mulch.
Yeah.
Instead of bark mulch. Do you have any bulk mulch? Just getting our words mixed up, Asylum instead of alyssum. Nasturtiums instead of nasturtiums. And a big one, of course, is cotton Easter.
Yeah. Which that makes sense. That makes more sense. Yeah,
it's spelt that way actually. Cotton Easter, anemone, and they're asking for anemones instead of anemones. Yugo pine, mugo pine. Somebody asked for yugo pine once, and here's a couple that we don't hear anymore because we don't have these products anymore. They're off the market. As methium, malathion, and diazinol or dioxin, and they're looking for diazinon, but we don't sell those things anymore, so that's kind of moot. Carnivorous instead of coniferous. He's asked for carnivorous. Do you have any carnivorous plants? Well, actually,
there are a few, but they're very tiny.
Yeah. Prostate instead of prostrate. Do you have any prostate plants? Daconian palm, Dracaena palm. They're asking for clamato, and of course they mean clematis. And topiaria, meaning topiary. And trestles, looking for a trellis, but they ask for trestles.
They're a little big to fit in the backyard.
Yeah, the trestle just doesn't fit in the backyard. Diefenbacher and Diefenbachia, of course, Diefenbaker, Diefenbachia. And the last one, and the one that you mentioned to me years ago is Pope and Talbot. In other words, they're looking for potentilla,
Yeah.
and they're asking for Pope and Talbot. So that's a list, and there's many, many more, but that's a list that I had compiled years ago after hearing people ask for things. I just thought it was kind of fun.
It is fun, and the thing is that can even help you remember what the actual name is, because it's like Pope and Talbot or something like that. I don't know if that company still exists, but around here, Pope and Talbot was a fairly large company. Wasn't it a lumber company?
Yeah, it was a mill.
I don't know if it still exists or not, but it's also a shrub apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and over the years, remembering plant names, Ken, I seem to remember plant names quite well. But I often use, like for instance, my Monadinium rubellum. I think of Mona, who used to work for us and had her own flower shop in town, Mona's Floralia, and so I think Monapedium.
Right.
We have a neighbor, and the plant that I use for her name is Rebecca. And I could never remember her name. And then I started remembering her name by remembering Rudbeckia.
There you go.
So I use that word sort of reference to remember people's names and to remember plant names. So
yeah, exactly. Interesting. Well, we have callers on the line, so we better go get those. And we have Addie on the line. Good morning, Addie. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, guys. Don, I've caught your bug, too. I've got that miserable cold. It's going to go on till July, I'm sure.
Oh, I hope mine
not.
Yeah, Butterfield has some of your deer spray.
Oh, the Bobex?
Bobex, yeah, Butterfield. They don't have any of the concentrate, but they have the ready-to-spray ones, because I had to go fix them up.
Okay.
My deer are kind of around my place, and I just don't want my tulips to go. So, but I don't know what in town, but the one on the west side does have them. So,
yeah, Addie, you say my deer. So you have your own deer there?
I have my own deer. Yeah, they just come out from around where the water plant is here, and they just they come sniffing around my house. Nobody else loses their tulips but me.
And do you name them? Do you have names for the deer?
For the deer, no, I don't. But I've got some choice names that I can't say on the radio.
No, that's right. That's funny.
Anyway, you get some pots. Like I've gotten some nice big pots that are okay, I guess clay pots, and they don't have any holes in the bottom. How can I plant anything in these pots?
Well, you could put a pot inside that and treat that outside pot as a saucer. Or you can go to the hardware store and do you have a drill, like a hand drill?
No.
Oh, you don't. Well, you could get somebody that has a hand drill. You get what they call a ceramic bit, and that will punch a hole through the bottom of that. What you do though is you put it on a thick towel, something thick, because if you put it just on something hard and you try drilling through, sometimes you can break the bottom of the pot. But if you put it on a towel and then push through with your ceramic bit, you get about a half-inch ceramic bits. That's all the hole you need. And if you put it on that thick towel, it'll punch through nicely without breaking the bottom of the pot.
Okay, well, I was thinking of putting about like rocks or something, about a quarter or a third of the pot from the bottom, because these are fairly large pots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes
putting rocks in, will that help?
I would probably do as Don was saying there and just get an alternative pot to drop inside of it. And then I put a couple little blocks of wood or a couple bigger rocks in the bottom of the pot to keep your inside pot up off the bottom. Because you got to get a fair bit of oxygen down there into the bottom of that pot area. Plus, if you get a little extra water, it's got to drain out. So you need about 2 inches, at least, maybe even 3 inches of space in the bottom of that pot underneath. So that's where I would be inclined, if I had that option, just getting a cheap pot, like a nursery pot or any kind of pot, put my plant in that, and then set it into this pot, as Don was saying, using it as a collection tray more than, and a decorative pot more than an actual practical pot.
Yeah, like a saucer. Another alternative, Addie, is this. You can, if you've got how big are your pots you're dealing with?
Well, there's a couple that are fairly big. They're probably like maybe 15 inches across.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good sized pot like that. Then what you do is you get a 1-inch piece of 1-inch PVC pipe, okay, and before you put your gravel in, you drill a couple of holes in the bottom of the PVC pipe so that you can get water into the PVC pipe. Put the pipe in, then put your layer of gravel in the bottom, and then put your potting soil in. So now you've got the PVC pipe sticking out of the potting soil. And then if you can get a turkey baster and put a little hose on the end of it, so extension, so you can put that hose down the PVC pipe and suck water out of there. So now you're removing the water. The gravel can only do its job if there's no water in the gravel. And the way you get the water out of the gravel is to suck it up through that PVC pipe. A little bit of work, but it has worked for me. I've done it a couple of times, and it's worked quite well.
No, I think I'll go get a cheap pot to put inside the big
There you
pot.
go.
Yeah, a little less complicated.
One other question. The greenery has their tomatoes out now, and I was tempted to pick up a couple and just kind of baby them, plant sit them in the house and then outside and in the house and outside. Are these tomatoes going to bear fruit a lot earlier than if I got them in May?
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
it's all about temperature, right? So tomatoes minimum temperature, like they can survive down to 10 degrees, like plus 10. But if they keep regularly going down to that temperature or more, they can be stunted and really, really go into a bad tailspin. Yep. So my inclination is to either hold off, or if you do get them, keep them inside and use your grow light on them. They like more like room temperatures, but they need the bright, bright, bright light. So you got to have the grow light right up close. And you can just wait 2 more weeks and you can grow them yourself, or buy small ones in 2 weeks.
Well, no, that's what I was wondering. How long do I have to wait before I buy them I've got enough house plants in the house that I don't need any outside plants.
No, about 60 days, 70 days to harvest is typical. For tomato plants. You can get some a little later, some maybe a smidge earlier. So regardless, I think, if you can get them a little bit bigger at the time, usually, you can buy fairly large tomato plants even around the end of April. You just, if you want to get specific ones, I would be inclined maybe to buy a smaller one now and try to keep that alive. And then by the time you get to the end of May and you can actually put them out, then by that time it's already like 1.5 feet, 2 feet high, as long as you have grow lights and warm temperatures. Because even in the daytime now, it's too cold to put them out.
So if I bought them at the end of April, I still wouldn't be able to keep them outside during the daytime.
Oh, you could, but you remember that. Just keep that in mind. A minimum of about 12 degrees, 10 or 12 degrees at night. So we don't even get that until, you'd have to bring them in and out.
Yeah. So that's another thing, a lot of work. Okay, well, thank you very much for all that, and go get your Bovics at Butterfield.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, we're going to take a break. Guys. Yep, thanks very much, Addie. We'll take a break. We'll be back after these messages with more of The Garden Show. Welcome back. We're going to go straight to the phone lines. We have John on the line. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Don and Ken. How you doing?
Doing good, thanks.
Good. I have a peach tree. Can I put copper spray on it now, or will it not do any good?
Yeah, copper is always useful to put on fruits, especially soft fruits. But they, a lot of the diseases that affect peach trees affect them over the winter months. So that's why we'll often apply copper in the fall. And get that on so that it coats the tree, and then over the winter it doesn't get affected by all these different diseases. So by now, though, you could still apply it prior to the buds growing too much. But I'd say go ahead and put that on.
Okay, the buds are starting to swell now and seeing a little bit of green.
Yeah, swelling's okay. It's just I think that copper's pretty safe to use. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
great.
the
One
only
more-
the copper. I don't know of any phytotoxicity of copper on anything, and you can spray copper. I mean, we sprayed copper on the roses in the summer for diseases and whatnot when they're in full leaf. So I don't think there's any problem with it. But as Ken says, the purpose with copper really is to coat the trees in the fall so that the diseases don't manifest over the winter. The time to spray now, though, the product to use is your lime sulfur dormant oil combination, and the only thing you don't want to spray that on is apricots.
Okay, for sure. Okay, that sounds great. One more question. I planted last year a Brussels sprout, and they didn't come and didn't have any fruit on it until the fall, and it was very small. It survived the winter, and now they're grape size, so I'll leave it in. But the question is, when should I plant Brussels sprouts so that I could have them for Thanksgiving or whatever?
Yeah, well, it's a little bit of a tricky plant to grow here in the Okanagan. You're in the Okanagan, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we get the
Peachland.
extremely hot summers, and so it's a funny thing with most of your cabbage families. You can plant them right now if you want, very early. But with the whole thing with these Brussels sprouts is that they need to be planted about the middle of May, and then they'll grow until about towards the end of September. So that's the timing. And they do still require a fair bit of food. So, nice, rich compost, rich soils. That's really wise. And ideally, you can cover them with some sort of a insect mesh. So a fine mesh designed to keep insects off of plants. And that keeps all your aphids and stuff off them, so you don't have to be spraying them. And they're relatively easy. Keeps the loopers off as well. So you either grow them in a frame that you can put this mesh over, or you custom make bags, a bag out of the insect mesh, and just put one over each plant because they're fairly big plants. And then you put them on and just keep it on the whole season. You never let them go without insect mesh on them, and that keeps them nice and healthy. And feed to get them up and going quickly. And that's sort of their cycle. So it's a funny thing with the Brussels sprouts is to actually plant them a bit later rather than earlier.
I haven't had great success growing Brussels sprouts in our garden here, and I've tried 2 or 3 times. The big issue for me, Ken, is aphid, the little gray aphid.
Yeah, and they'll stay off as long as you get the insect mesh. Yeah.
It crawls right into the cracks and crevices, and it's really difficult to control. But will the mesh help with the aphids?
Yeah, absolutely. Keeps all the flying insects off. Yeah, just got to start right away when they're little.
Yeah.
Can I spray with 7?
Well, 7's now off the market. Carbaryl is not on the market anymore, so the 7 that you have may be too old to be of any use.
It's very new because I bought it in the States, last year.
Okay. Well, yeah, Carbaryl is good it's good for chewing insects. So it's okay on your sprouts, I guess. But it's 7 was taken off the market in Canada for reasons, and I always follow those rules as much as I can because for an individual using a little bit of Carbaryl, a little bit of 7, I don't see any big issues. But it came off the market because of the volume going into the environment and whatnot, and other reasons too. They would have reasons to take it off the market. But the 7, when we were selling 7, when I was recommending 7 for various things, it was mostly for chewing insects. 7, and aphids are a sucking insect.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much for calling, John. I appreciate that. And good luck with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks,
all right.
buddy.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
All right. We have another caller on the line. We have Vicky on the line. Thanks for holding, Vicky.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Doing pretty good, thanks.
I had quite a chuckle when you were telling about the odd names that people ask, do you have this plant or that plant?
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. Now, I have an amaryllis. It had 4 flowers on it this year. How do I store that? Do I just cut it just finished, So do I just cut the stalk off and put the bulb in some shredded paper to store it, or?
No, ma'am, you need to replenish the bulb now that it's had its bloom. You need to leave the foliage and grow it as a house plant, or plant it in the garden or outside in the pot, but keep it alive and growing. So you want to water it, let it go slightly dry between waters, but give it a good feeding and watering every week or 10 days or so through, if it's out in the sun. Sunny spot in the garden outside. Get it growing, because that foliage now is the motor that's going to, and the manufacturing plant that's going to build that bulb up again. And so then you, in the fall, then you cut it right back to make it look just like the bulb you bought in the first place. It's been cut back to about 1.5 inches above the bulb. Shake the soil off the roots, put it in a brown paper bag. Put it in the crisper part of your fridge, not the freezer, but the crisper part of your fridge, for in this brown paper bag, for 2 to 3 to 5 weeks, depending on when you want it to bloom, and then you bring it out and you treat it just like you did when you got it from the store.
Yeah, and don't plant them outside right now; it's too cold.
No,
End
don't
of May.
put them outside.
Yeah.
So when do I cut the foliage off?
No. Leave the foliage. The foliage.
Just leave it. Just let it dry out.
Let it grow. No, let it grow. You have to grow it like a house plant all the way until September. So just use it as a house plant. Is what I do. Just let them grow.
I'm sorry. It's September, you said?
Yeah, it's got to grow for about 5 months or so, at least 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're building that bulb back up. That's the key.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you cut the foliage off, the poor bulb's sitting there. He's withered up because he put all that effort into blooming, and now he's I got it. They don't like it.
Okay.
All right.
And I have a hint for a person who has had the pot with no holes in it. I buy poodle noodles, and I slice them up into like 2 or 3 inch slices, and I put those in the bottom of the pot, and I put a piece of landscape fabric on top, and then I fill it full of soil. These are for big pots that I have outside, so and they don't have a hole in the bottom. So any extra fluid that was in the rain or whatever, it drains down into the bottom part where I have the pool noodle slices.
Pool noodles?
Yeah, the pool noodles that the kids play with in the pool.
Oh, those things. Yeah. And you cut them into pieces.
I
styrofoam.
I slice them into circles, and I throw them in the bottom, and then I put a piece of landscape fabric on top so it doesn't get all full of dirt. And then I put the dirt on top of that.
That's good.
Then I put my plants in.
Is it exposed to rain and that sort of thing?
Yeah. Sprinklers and stuff like that. And I just leave them out, and any excess water goes into the bottom so the plants don't drown.
Right, but what happens when the bottom fills up?
Oh, I don't think we get that much rain in the Okanagan. Yeah. These are fairly big pots, so.
Right. Well, no. If it's working, don't try and fix it. If it's working for you, I still think that a person, drainage is one of the things that we talk about constantly in potted plants when we're doing our seminars and whatnot. Not only for waterlogging, but you want that movement of water through the pot to get rid of excess salts. The salt buildup becomes a problem sometimes.
Right.
So, if you're careful and you're doing your due diligence and watching, being very careful, you don't overwater and that sort of thing, and you're successful doing what you do, I'm not going to suggest you want to change your methodology or anything. Yeah. You might as well just carry on. But the salt buildup is one of the aspects that you got to worry about.
That's the worst thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Vicki. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. All right, and we have Francis on the line. Good morning, Francis.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Don, I sent you some pictures to see if you could assist me in identifying a tree in my yard.
Right, and that I believe, and my email's all messed up, so I did get a glance at it, but now I can't see anything. I'm going to get that fixed this week, mind you. But no, I think it's a malus of some sort, like an apple of some sort.
Okay.
Or it could be just the buds and everything look like apple but it could be a prunus of some sort as well, like a plum of some sort. But I didn't see any of the typical little thorns that you often see on plums. I think it's an apple. It's not in very good shape. It's an old baby.
Yes.
It's been around for a few years, that one. But once I get my email working and that, I'm going to get back to you on it. But I think it's an apple tree.
Because there is one where there is a piece of fruit or whatever in one of the pictures, and I didn't know if that would help you identify it, but that's fair. My other question is, how do I register for Ken's pruning seminar next weekend?
Yeah, you just have to go to, if you go online, if you have online access, you can just go to bylandsgardencenter.com, and that's CENTRE, Bylands Garden Center, and you can register online there. Just look up events. There's a little, three little dashes at the top of the screen. You tap on that, and it'll say events and whatnot, and then you can click on that, and it'll tell you about which areas and how to sign up. And if worse comes to worse, just phone the garden center, either one, either KLO or the West Side, and they'll help you get situated.
Excellent.
Cool. Francis, I'm just looking at that. Actually, I picked it up on my phone here. I'm looking at that picture of the fruit that you sent. I still think it's screaming apples to me. Have you taken the fruit apart to see what it looks like inside?
No, I haven't. It's still
Well, have a look at that, because I think it's an apple.
Okay. That's excellent. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Thanks for calling.
Appreciate your time. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back right after these messages with more of The Garden Show. All righty. We are back with you, and we've got a little bit of sun peeking out there, Don.
Oh, good. I'm in my dungeon office here, so I don't have a window. I'm not looking out a window. But a little skip of snow here. We get a little bit more up in Lake Country. Ken, we often talk about the importance of for us, for especially for horticulturists, and I think for home gardeners should embrace this as well. And that is using the proper botanical names for the plants. And I've got a list here, just fascinating list actually of Latin terms and what it means. Okay, what they mean, and that's what the whole thing about the using the botanical names instead of because they're very, very informative. Like for instance, when it says Australis, it usually means from the south, not necessarily Australia, but from the south. America, of course, is from America. Augustifolia, you see that often. It's called narrow-leaved, So annua is annual. So all these things really mean something, and it's kind of fun for folks to, especially avid gardeners, people that are really interested in the plant portion of things, not just the beauty of them and whatever, but the actual plants and studying the plants like Ken and I do, of course, and lots of gardeners do. This list is really interesting. So if anybody would like to see this list, I can send it to them. If you email me, don@thegardenexpert.com, and I can send you this list of Latin terms. Pinnata is with pinnate leaves. Poly is many, of course. Polyphylla is with many leaves. So it's really interesting. Macro is large. And macrocarpa is large fruited.
Minima would be small. Yeah.
Macrophylla is large leaves. So it's really interesting when you start getting into it.
It is very cool. All right, we're just going to run back to the phone lines. We've got Pam on the line from Victoria. Thanks for calling, Pam.
Oh, thank you for taking the call.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a question. I did send an email with some photos earlier, but it's an indoor house plant, an oak leaf croton, and it really needs repotting. So I'm not the best person knowing how to do these things. It did survive a previous repotting I did many years ago. I don't know if you can bring up the photo.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, Pam, and I'll tell you, I like the guitar, too. The guitar looks good there, too. But what a beautiful...
Yeah.
Sorry? What
Oh,
a
I was just
beautiful
gonna
plant.
Well, it is, and it's an old timer that I sort of inherited from an aunt, and it's grown a lot without very much mother henning from me. So now I'm worried I might spoil it.
Well, this is just like my friend Lee Morin, who I've played with for many years, and he lives in Vancouver. And he's got a big coffee plant that he's had since the early 90s.
Wow.
And Lee is not a plant person. I mean, but this plant is part of him. And, to me, he's hasn't done the right thing for all those years he's had it, but it's thriving. And so it really brings down to the point where a plant either likes you or doesn't like you. And I think that croton that you have there, it's gorgeous. What a beautiful plant. And where it's located there that's not a window. That's a mirror or something, isn't it? Or is that a window?
That is a huge oval window, and what you're looking at, the mirror, is on the smaller wall.
Yes. Okay, so you do have that window, and you've got a blind on it right now, just of some sort. Yeah. I mean, it's an amazing plant. I mean, it really is. You don't often see the oak-leafed croton like that. Most of them are the regular crotons, but that's a beautiful plant, and it's worth saving. I don't know if you necessarily have to repot it. Heavens, there's a plant in town, a Scheffler, at one of the tire companies in town, in their showroom, and that plant's been there for 40 years. And it shouldn't be alive the way the way they treat it. Although it is in a pretty bright spot, but that plant is an amazing plant, and it's been in the same pot for many, many, many years. I mean, when you think about bonsaiing a plant, that's in a small pot, and you never put a bonsai into a bigger pot because you want to keep the plant small. So by putting it into a bigger pot, sometimes you have the chance that it's going to get too big for the spot.
Well, that's it.
What we can do is maybe give you a couple tips on how to just keep on keeping on, and hopefully keep it for quite a few more years. So the key with these plants that are older plants that have been in pots for years is occasionally, as Dawn says, sometimes they just survive, depending on the water supply and all that. But what I do with all my house plants, and especially the bigger ones, is if I can in any way either get them outside in the spring when it warms up and it's nice and comfortable, give them a heavy, heavy leaching where you wash warm water ideally, through that root system and wash it out to get rid of built-up salts that might be in that soil. If it's impossible to get it outside, sometimes you can just take it, set it on a towel, and put it right in the bathtub. And the towel will collect any little bits of soil that come through and just give it a really good, again, sort of tepid tap water. Run it through that zone, through that root zone over and over and over again over a period of about an hour. So soaking it, let it drain, soak it, let it drain. That'll leach it out, and it gives you a fresh start. Then you can move it back. Any other things that you can do to improve the light? Because when I look at that plant, it looks really cool and very, very nice shape and everything. I would just say it looks a little bit like it's missing a bit of light. So that would be anything we can do to improve that. And then the next thing is just regular feeding, which means for a plant that's in low light, sort of like this one is, I would say maybe about once a month for like a water-soluble fertilizer. That's generally good. But if you get more light, you can go to twice a month. And then that gives you a really nice, healthy situation, get some new shoots on it, and start it to rejuvenate a bit.
Yeah, it has done a little flower occasionally, kind of like a spindly flower.
And flowers are sometimes a sign of stress, or it can
there
be,
you go.
It's not always just like, it's going, I don't know what's going on. I better flower and reproduce just in case things don't go well.
Save me.
Yeah, possibly, So anyway, hopefully that's some information.
The water-soluble fertilizer, would that be like a 20-20?
Yeah, just like that.
That's good. Okay.
20-20 is fine, yeah.
And so just leave it. So don't try to give it fresh.
Well, I would, I would tend not to on that beautiful plant. I mean, it's a beautiful plant, and often when I say, like I said to the folks at the tire store, I said, hey, don't stop doing what you're doing, because it's that plant is, and same with Lee Moran with his plant is big. You know.
Right.
Anyway, that's
okay. Well,
that's what I have to say about that.
That's excellent advice. Thank you. I'm going to this watering or leaching or taking it out. It'll be a new fun experience for plants.
And if it does start to grow, remember, it'll get even more top heavy, and that's where you might say, well, I better go up one pot size. Like, don't go too much bigger.
Yeah.
You can go one pot size, put some fresh soil around the perimeter, but then when in your pot, like you've got a nice heavy pot there, right, for the base that it sits in, and that's good because that'll keep it from toppling over.
Well, I do have an inner pot. You can see that.
Yeah,
black
I saw
inner,
that.
Yeah, and I think years ago when I did repot it, I think I put it in a little crooked, so now I have the, support there. That's what that blue noodle is.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, maybe I should try to redo this and do a better job, but I'm afraid to. So I think I'll just carry on like you're saying.
Yeah, and remember that the plants, as they get more vigorous as the season progresses, we get into May and the light is better and they start to grow, then, they're more apt to, more accepting to transplanting when they're actively growing, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in.
Okay, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. On that note, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back after these messages with more of The Garden Show. All righty, we are back. It is a lovely day. The sun is starting to shine here in the Okanagan. Hopefully it's shining down in the coastal regions and anywhere that our listening audience is. It's always nice when the sun shines. It just feels good. And sooner we can get out into that sun and get some vitamin D, the sooner the better. And hopefully it's coming soon. So, yeah, lots going on in the gardening community at this time of year. And as I mentioned, there's pruning seminars this Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at the KLO Bylands Garden Center and on Sunday at the West Side Garden Center. So I'll be putting those on, and they're going to be fabulous events. And you can call the Garden Center or just go to bylandsgardencenter.com and see if you can just sign up right there online. It's always quick and easy to do that. All right, other than that, again, on the 11th of April, we have our full day of gardening out in Lake Country. It's called For the Love of Gardening. That's going to be a really great event, and lots of speakers and events and you name it, all kinds of stuff going on for a full day. It's going to be awesome. And even other than that, the Lake Country Garden Club, it's starting their first meeting coming up here. I believe it's this upcoming Thursday night. So if you haven't signed up again, Lake Country Garden Club, lots going on there. It's just growing like crazy. And, I'm going to be assisting with their demonstration garden, which is being constructed here in 2026. And we're going to be able to demonstrate all kinds of different types of gardening techniques there. And that's right down Swellwell Park. It's just getting underway, and I'll be participating in that. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be super cool. Yeah, Don.
Yeah, I'm noticing this is perfect timing for your pruning seminars, Ken, because I'm noticing a lot of the orchardists are out there pruning away in their orchards right now.
Yep.
So a lot of that going on, and this is the time when you want to take in some of that expertise that Ken's going to offer in these two seminars that are happening, one at Bylands on the west side and one at Bylands on the KLO store as well. So there you go.
Yeah, super easy to do. And so on that note, like we say, there are many of the plant sales and whatnot coming up here from many garden clubs, and the Okanagan Xeriscape Association will be having our plant sale. And a lot of these groups that do put on plant sales, they really benefit from the funds, these donations that come in. They're literally a big part of their annual budget is to help to pay for things and keep their clubs alive. So whenever they do have plant sales of any kind, please participate, because it's really important to these groups to get a little bit extra cash in the coffer so they can continue on and just do a great job. And like I say, participating a lot more with the Lake Country Garden Club this year. Looking forward to that. And of course, also with the Flower Power Garden Tour that's coming up this year. And Don, I'm not sure if you have any notes on that Flower Power Garden Tour.
I do.
I'll be
have.
on it for sure.
there's the Flower Power Garden Tour is coming on Saturday, June the 20th, 2026, with 8 gardens that celebrate creativity, care, and the joy of outdoor living, from a breathtaking garden boasting 170 rose bushes to a well-loved family garden designed for long tables and lively gatherings. And each stop offers its own sense of magic. Guests will also wander through a beautifully executed Xeriscape-inspired space and a thoughtfully landscaped family lot. Just a glimpse of the variety waiting to be discovered. Along the way, we'll once again welcome a curated collection of vendors, crafters, and artisans, making this a day to stroll, linger, and be inspired. And Ken, I've often said this is one of the best ways to get ideas for your garden. Is whether you're in Victoria, Vancouver, Kelowna, Vernon, Penticton, Lake Country, Peachland. If there are garden tours in your neck of the woods, take them in, because that is one of your best ways to get ideas for your own garden.
Yeah, it sure is. That's for sure. And I'm looking forward to it. I know I'm going to be posted at one of the sites on the Flower Power Garden Tour this year. I typically am most garden tours around the area, so I always enjoy that, get a chance to get to know the garden more intimately and chat with people that come through and help to identify the plants, give them garden tips on what's going on. So, and I know there are many other garden experts out there as well that'll be at each garden typically. The master gardeners are there, and they're usually there and really eager to help you out and to answer gardening questions. So it's a great day. It's well worth the few dollars it takes to get to participate, to get the secret map of where to go. And but yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
And something I'm looking forward to in the next little while here on April 12th, which is not too far away, a month away from here, about a month away. So April 12th, Donna and I will be visiting Abkhazi Gardens. We've been very, very fond of helping Abkhazi get their word out there, and we're so excited to see the gardens. And I'm sure April 12th down in Victoria, I think we're going to see some color for sure, and look excited to be there. I haven't got the time yet that we'll be there, but it'll probably be around noon. We'll end up visiting the gardens there. But looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting some folks that listen to the show.
Yeah, sounds good. Take a couple videos too while you're there, and we'll put them on YouTube so that people can have a look and get excited about visiting themselves.
Oh yeah, no, that's wonderful.
Yeah, cool.
I'll do that.
All right. Well, we are coming towards the end of the show. We got about 5 minutes left here before we do the tips. But, all kinds of things. I'm really excited to see the color showing up at the garden centers. There's just so much going on. And let's just all remember that right now this weather's been, I would say abnormally mild and early, as far as certain plants go. Especially in the vegetable garden, there are a lot of plants that actually like to grow cold, and they don't like the heat of summer. And so those plants, many of them like lettuce and spinach and cilantro and many plants, they just can't grow when it's hot out. So now's the time to get those plants in. I would say tonight's going to be a little bit of a little snip here, maybe -5 or 6 depending where you live. But tomorrow is a great day. I'm using this upcoming Sunday to get out and get some things planted. Even potatoes, you can get them out early. I had quite a large list of cold crops that I like to promote that I had in my handout, which whenever I do events, I typically will have those. So when I do the Bylands pruning sessions this weekend, I'll have some of those handouts available. If anybody wants to participate in the seminar, you'll have that handout, plus a pruning handout as well. And that is courtesy of you, Don, which is fabulous. And that's a great handout.
Yeah, it developed over the years, as most handouts do. I think if I had a copy of the one that I started with back in 1997, it would be much enhanced version compared to the old one. But also, I want to mention that the Chelsea Flower Show, one of the preeminent shows in the world, happens every May in England, in London. And also the Kew Gardens is another world-famous show garden. And we're planning a trip again next year. This hasn't come totally to fruition yet, Ken, but Donna and I are planning a trip to the Chelsea Flower Show and Kew Gardens and several other we'll be going to various locations too, just acting like tourists. But it's not going to be a long trip, maybe about 10 days, and so we'll have that together fairly soon now. So I'll give you some prices and whatever. But it'd be fun to have some of you listeners along on the trip with us. It'd be kind of fun. So I'll give you more information as time approaches here.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Yeah, and those events, Chelsea, that's literally the number one garden show in the world to attend. So it's outstanding. And I know, Don, you've been before, and I know we did a couple of videos on that tour, and so you can check that out at Grower Coach on YouTube. I just have to go into the archives and see what you can find. All kinds of videos on there. And on that note, we're going to have to call it a show here, Don, and do the tips and plants of the week.
Perfect. Okay, my tip of the week is that if it's time now, you can get some of the dormant oil lime sulfur combination spray on your roses and grapes. Although the grapes, as I said before, you might want to wait a little while till the grape buds get fuzzy. That's the timing for that. And when the roses have a half an inch to an inch or two long, that's the time to hit those. That's happening in my yard now, so I got to get out there and do that pretty quick here. My plant of the week is mossy saxifrage, or the Saxifraga bryoides, and it's one of only two species in that family that occurs at high altitudes in continental Europe, and I got a plant in my backyard in the Okanagan.
You are spoiled, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Don, I also have a tip and a plant this week, and my tip of the week is that participate in the pruning seminar at Bylands Garden Center next weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. That's Saturday on KLO and Sunday on the west side. And you can call ahead to go to bylandsgardencenter.com to get more information. And my plant of the week this week is the lovely pansy, which is a pretty simple plant, but I'll tell you, they are colorful and beautiful, and they don't mind to freeze at night. They like to be outside in the cool temperatures right now, so this is the time to get those out and just add some color. I put some in my old planters. They're looking just fabulous. All right, that's my tips and plants for this week. Remember to check growercoach.com and Grower Coach on YouTube.
And I've got a short quote of the week from Dr. Alex Shigo. Take some young people on a nature walk.
Wow, that is critical. It is amazing what the kids can absorb by walking through the wilderness. They need to get out there more often to absorb that beautiful energy and smell that lovely air. It's a great thing, and I know kids love it. It's one of their favorite things is to get out, and if there's water within a mile, they'll find it, and they'll splash around and throw rocks in it. That's the way it goes.
And tell them to leave their phones at home.
Yeah, no phones, no screen time, please. Just get rid of those things. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for everybody who called in today. It's been a fabulous show, and spring is here, so we're all excited about that. And we'll see you again next week with more of The Garden Show.